The following video is not suitable for children 13 or under. So if you are a child 13 or under and you're watching this video and you learn a bad word, then it's your own damn fault. Hey guys, Master Farr here, and I am back with another review. And today we are taking a Transformers Studio Series 86 Scavenger. This is one of the 6 Constructicons and is one of the Armbots to Devastator. But yeah, I've been meaning to review this guy for a while and I've just been playing it off with other stuff. But here he is, finally taking a look at him. Here we have Scavenger in the packaging right here. We can see a little bit of art on him on the side right here. Looks like his shovel comes separated out of the box. And taking a look at the back of the packaging, we can see a render of Scavenger in robot mode and vehicle mode, as well as his bio, which reads, Scavenger combines with other Constructicons to form Devastator. But with all that out of the way, let's get Scavenger out of the packaging. Getting Scavenger out of the packaging, I gotta say, this guy definitely has some issues. Starting off, he does look good for the most part, but we'll go through my big problems with this guy as it goes on. He is mainly based on the look of the original cartoon, as popping a picture of him right here. You can see that while there are some similarities, he is definitely a bit more stylized. In terms of the painting and sculpting, taking a look at him from the feet up, the detailing on the treads is very nice and definitely adds a nice texture to the legs. However, some of the detailing is lost in the green plastic. I also do like some of the silver on the chest, as well as the little bit of darker gray on the chest too. Taking a look at the head sculpt for Scavenger, I gotta say it is very good, and it definitely captures the look of the character very well. I especially like the silver they use for the mouthpiece, as well as the red on the eyes. My biggest problem with this guy mainly comes down to his proportions, as the waist itself is way too big. It almost looks like he's wearing a diaper. And it didn't have to be this way, especially since the Combiner Wars version of this guy managed to have better proportions and a better look overall. The waist is much smaller and it honestly feels much more complete. Heck, these two things basically have the same function as taking a look at the Combiner Wars version. The socket for the combined mode is held right here, nice and smoothly, which isn't something that's on the newer version. In fact, taking a look at that, the socket on this version, actually, you have to pop up this little flap right here, and it reveals the socket, which is honestly way less clean and honestly makes the figure look a lot worse. Also, it kind of gives the figure this, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Yeah, you can actually give this guy an erection. Oh boy. There is no reason it should even be like this, especially since once again the Combiner Wars version managed to hold the combiner socket in a much better spot. Another problem I have with Scavenger is honestly his deco. It is just very plain, and like, I'm not the biggest fan of this green. And I know the rest of the Constructicons have this same green, but compared to the green on the Combiner Wars version, it is just really drab. In terms of accessories, Scavenger comes with a gun, which is also blast effect compatible, as well as the shovel for his excavator mode, which will have to be assembled out of the packaging. The shovel attaches to this 5mm peg on the back right here. As for Scavenger's articulation, his head can move down this far and rotate 360 degrees. His arm can go out this far and rotate 360 degrees, and there's a bicep rotation. His elbow goes 90 degrees. His leg can go out this far and can go back this far, and there is a thigh rotation. The knee goes about 90 degrees, and he has an ankle tilt. Scavenger's articulation is pretty limited, but it's still possible to get him into a few decent poses. However, I have one nitpick involving the articulation. That being, his shoulder on his right side likes to come undone if you're not careful. Also, sadly, the figure is not fig stand compatible. For the sake of comparison, here he is next to SS86 Bone Crusher, SS86 Scrapper, SS86 Long Haul, SS86 Hook, the undersized Combiner Wars Scavenger, and my last review, SH Figuarts Bakugo. Now, with all that being said, let's get Scavenger into vehicle mode. And here we have Scavenger in vehicle mode. He turns into an excavator. And I gotta say, for as much criticism as I gave the robot mode, the vehicle mode for this guy is actually pretty nice. Starting off, the detailing on him is really good. Taking a look at the front right here, we can see there's some purple on the windows and a little bit of silver popping out of the front right here from the robot chest. Taking a look at him from the side, the tread details are actually pretty good, and I like the little bits of silver to break it up on the front and the back parts of the treads. You can even make out some of the wheels too, which is pretty nice. And taking a look at him from the back, it is very clean. The hands do a good job blending in, which on a side note, the hands are actually painted. And in terms of weapon storage, the gun can be mounted on the right side of the figure into a little peg hole, and there is also a little pour on the back for a blast effect. In terms of articulation in this mode, the shovel arm can go back this far thanks to transformation, can move forward this far, and rotate 360 degrees. And the shovel itself can move in this far and out this far. My one nitpick with this mode is, unfortunately, like Bone Crusher, there are no wheels on the treads, which is kind of annoying, especially since the Combiner Wars version does have wheels on the bottom of the treads, which allow it to roll. For the sake of comparison, here he is next to SS-86 Scrapper, SS-86 Hook, SS-86 Long Haul, SS-86 Bone Crusher, the undersized Combiner Wars Scavenger, and my last review, SH Figuarts Bakugo. Overall, SS-86 Scavenger is definitely the weakest of the Constructicons. Between his lackluster robot mode and just the fact that he's essentially just a worse version of the Combiner Wars figure that came out 10 years ago, I can't really recommend this guy unless you're trying to complete Devastator. But yeah, that's about it. This is Master Farr signing off, and I will see you next time.